Plays that were banned by the NFL. Big shout out to Blitz for the video I'm about to react to. Listen, I've heard of rules and different accessories and things like that being banned. I've never heard of plays being banned. This is gonna be interesting, bro.
What was allowed in the NFL back in the day
Damn.
would seem insane now. From trick plays with 7-footers to vicious hits, these are the craziest banned plays in NFL history.
Oh, yeah, this is about to be
crazy. This play used to be commonplace in the NFL until December 20th, 2004, when the Roy Williams rule was put into effect, banning horse collar tackles.
Yeah, that's
four
crazy.
players with this type of tackle in 2004 alone. But it was this specific hit by Williams that not only caused a stir on the field, but left Terrell Owens in terrible shape. It sidelined T.O. for the final 2 games of the regular season and the first 2 of the playoffs because Owens broke his leg and tore ligaments in his ankle during the play. And while Williams may have been the most infamous player to use this technique, it was being utilized long before him, like in 1987, during plays like this, with Joey Browner yanking Gerald Wilhite to the ground. The horse collar tackle has now been defined as grabbing the inside collar of the back or side of the shoulder pads or jersey, or grabbing the jersey at the nameplate or above, and pulling the runner toward the ground. In 2005, it became officially banned.
Damn! Yeah, bro, of course you gotta ban that, bro. That dude literally, it looked like 2 people broke their leg. Bro, that's just like, as a human, when your momentum is going all the way straight, to get pulled back by that, that's just not natural, bro. That should not happen, gang. I'm glad that was banned. All right, let's see what's next.
This play was inspired by the great Muhammad Ali, and soon after, it went into the NFL rulebook. And who better to explain the Deacon Jones head slap than the man himself?
Looks like a dance step.
Bro, ads, bro. Hold on, bro. I'm logged into the wrong YouTube channel, guys. I got a damn ad that popped up. 1 second. Let me log into my one that don't got ads. Hold on.
Next play was inspired by the great Muhammad Ali, and soon after, it went into the NFL rulebook. And who better to explain the Deacon Jones head slap than the man himself?
Looks like a dance step. 1, 2, 3, boom. You see? And you do all that.
He slapped him and kicked him?
There will be no more Morlocks.
Jones would punch or slap offensive linemen in the head to disorient them so he could easily blow by them for a sack. That may seem crazy today, but during the 60s and early 70s, this was completely legal. When Jones retired in 1974, this move was reevaluated, and just 3 years later, in 1977, it became illegal. I mean, just imagine getting smacked in the head every single play by a 6'5", 272-pound monster.
I mean, bro, they shouldn't ban that one. I mean, bro, just block, man. Block like a boxer, gang. Just block that. Get on your Mayweather, shoulder roll weave. Hey, weave, stupid. I feel like tank. Come on, bro. Like, I don't know. They shouldn't have banned that one. What do y'all think? Go in the comments.
He left players like right tackle Kaz Banachek with ice bags on his head and left permanent damage on Joe DeLamielleure and Gene Hickerson. But in the words of Jones himself, it was the greatest thing I ever did. And when I left, they outlawed him. Now, this next play, you've seen done by tons of players. Jumping
why
the
don't
line.
people do that
The name
no
explains it all. But who was the real reason it got banned? Well, if you watch the Steelers in the 2000s and 2010s, you know, no one did it like Troy Polamalu.
Yeah,
he would time the snap count to perfectly leap over the O-line and stop the opposing team in their backfield.
Legendary.
He popularized it, and the move started to get used more commonly to block field goals. But in 2017, it was banned because it was said to be dangerous for everyone involved. But
They already smacking each other and hit sticking and juking and stiff arming. How is that dangerous? I don't get it. I don't get how that's dangerous, bro. Oh, actually, okay. I guess if you jump and then somebody stands up, you could like trip over their head and flip and fall on your neck and then break your neck. Okay, I could see that, but damn, that's crazy. I was wondering why I never seen people do it no more.
What's even more dangerous is when coaches are able to find loopholes in league rules. And Bill Belichick took pride in outsmarting the system time and time again. On October 21st, 2019, the Patriots were demolishing the New York Jets, and Belichick wanted to—
You heard that, the New York Jets, not the New York Giants. You know why? Because the Giants beat the Patriots 2 times. Guess what? One of those times they were 18-0 in the Super Bowl with Tom Brady, and we stopped them. Guess what? Another time we beat them as well in 2011, and guess what? Both times we beat them, our records weren't even that good. We were only 9-7 and 8-8, and we still went on to win the Super Bowl. So you know what that means? This year we're 1-3 at the time of this recording. We are going to win the Super Bowl. Jackson Dart's going to create history, and we're going to come and win the Super Bowl. You know why? Even though Malik Neighbors is hurt, his initials are MN. Put that backwards, that's NM. That stands for not missing. That means his aura is still not missing in the locker room, and we're going to be good, and it's going to go over to all the other receivers, and we're going to win. You also know why we're going to win the Super Bowl? Because Dart is the highest level. Listen, darts is also a board game, bro. Listen, hear me out, bro. Check me out, bro. Hold on. Listen. I'm trying to explain why the Giants are about to win the Super Bowl, bro. The highest score in darts is 60. This is Super Bowl 60 coming up. Think about that, bro. If you add up the best offensive player on our team, Jackson Dart, his age is 22. The best defensive player on our team, you know what I'm saying? Sexy Dexy, Dexter Lawrence is 27. Add that up, that's 49. Where do the 49ers play? In the Levi Stadium. Where's the Super Bowl going to be this year? The Levi Stadium, bro. I'm telling you, we will win the Super Bowl. Think about about this? Jackson Dart wears number 6. The word Giants has 6 letters in it. This is Super Bowl 60. We are going to win a Super Bowl, bro. Don't say I didn't tell you.
Expedite the victory in a not-so-traditional way. New England was up 33-0 with over 10.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, so Bill got tricky. According to the NFL rulebook, if a team has back-to-back delay of game penalties on the same down, it's considered unsportsmanlike conduct, leading to not only the clock stopping, but also a 15-yard penalty.
Oh, wow.
But this isn't what Bill Belichick did. New England did start with a delay of game penalty, but followed it up with an intentional false start penalty, rather than another delay of game, leading to a full 90 seconds of time shaved off the clock, and the clock continued to run. But on May 28, 2020, this was
this man really glitched the system.
Put to a stop when the league updated the rulebook to say teams cannot manipulate the game clock by committing multiple dead ball fouls while the clock is running, marking an end to this Belichick trickery. And while Belichick would beat you with his mind, some plays just relied on brute force. So much so that NFL players themselves couldn't even believe they were legal.
That was back when there was still a wedge unit on kickoff return.
I was a part
You
of that.
believe that used to be a thing?
I wish it would never happen.
Bro.
The rulebook defines this wedge block as 2 or more players shoulder to shoulder within 2 yards of each other attempting to block the runner. And in 2009, the wedge block was officially banned in the NFL. This is because it caused tons of injuries, namely concussions. And just a year before the wedge block was banned, 30 out of 32 NFL teams had used it at some point during the season. Change was needed, as multiple players had been permanently injured from the wedge. Which brings us to our most recent ban play.
Did you see his leg, bro? Excuse my language, Nate, bleep that. But look at this, bro. Look at his foot. Look at his foot right here. Ooh.
Recent banned play, the hip drop tackle.
If you asked me to pull up videos and show you what a hip drop tackle was, or if you asked me to demonstrate a hip drop tackle, I wouldn't be able to do it.
The banning of this play is often criticized, but the rule is designed to protect star players, no matter how hard it makes it on the defense. And it was a hip drop tackle by Logan Wilson on this play that took Mark Andrews out for 8 weeks in 2023. And in 2024, this play became officially banned, defined by the league as grabbing the runner with both hands, swiveling his hips to land on and trap the legs, which is exactly what happened to Mark Andrews. This illegal tackle will now result in a 15-yard penalty and a first down. So, thoughts and prayers to every corner trying to tackle Derrick Henry in the future. And
literally, but yo, nah, I'm glad that's banned, bro. Anything that can injure somebody should be banned. The head slap, come on, bro. That can't really. I didn't think that could injure somebody, but apparently somebody got permanent damage. So I guess it's a good thing that was banned too. I ain't gonna lie, the NFL's doing a good job banning stuff because some of this stuff is crazy.
Though it seems like the league is making it as hard as they can on defensive players, this next play is one they took away from the offense. It's pretty easy to understand why the play was banned after you watch it. These defenseless offense hits became known as crackback blocks. And they were happening all the time. So in 2012, the NFL amended the rule, making these blocks illegal. But you still see them from time to time in the current NFL. One of the most well-known blocks of this nature was thrown by Juju Smith-Schuster on Vontaze Burfict in 2017. And while the Steelers nation and fans around the league may have rejoiced,
he did that because he hit AB and gave him a concussion.
Juju was still suspended 1 game for the block.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 19.
But what happens when basketball players play in the NFL? Well, normally they turn into great tight ends, but sometimes they become the most interesting special teams player ever. Like in 1969, when 6'10" Morris Stroud became the NFL's version of Dikembe Mutombo. Kansas City Chiefs head coach Hank Stram would have Stroud sit under the goalposts and jump to block or deflect field goals like an NBA center at the rim. This crazy game plan would be outlawed and forever known as the Stroud rule, making his goaltending attempts illegal, leading Stroud to fall back on a secondary position, tight end. But players have still attempted to do this, like 5'10" Randall Cobb trying to block David Akers' 63-yard field goal attempt back in 2012. But blocking a field goal is one thing. Turning a normally negative play, like a fumble, into a positive is completely different. The fumble-rooski was first seen on September 10, 1978, when the Raiders played the Chargers. With the Raiders down 20-14 and just 10 seconds left in the game, Ken Stabler fumbled the ball forward. Teammate Pete Banaszak fumbled it further. Then Dave Casper picked up the ball, leading to a touchdown and a Raiders victory, in a play that became known as the Holy Roller. Because of this, the NFL dropped a new rule the very next season, stating if a fumble occurs on a 4th down or after the 2-minute warning, only the player who fumbled the ball can advance the ball. And that was was the end of the intentional fumble-rooski in the NFL, with variations of this play being used decades later, like in 2020, when Washington put their own spin on the play. And some of the league's most shocking plays aren't actually banned, but you'd think they were by how often they lead to penalties or by how much controversy they cause. This next rule has been one of the most commonly missed calls by officials and remains a topic of debate amongst analysts: punching a loose ball. But it's not just the batting of the ball, it's how it's done. According to the league rulebook, a player may not bat or punch a loose ball in the field of play toward the opponent's goal line, which was done during this Troy Polamalu play.
Oh, wow.
Additionally, you can't bat the ball in any direction while in the end zone, which is exactly what was done during this play by KJ Wright in 2015. And this play sealed the game, with the Seahawks ultimately winning 13-10. This rule was already in place before these incidents, but it has left many officials lost and confused, as the call has been commonly missed in recent years. Some controversial plays have originated from hilarious actions on the field. Just watch this.
Nobody has even come close to
What in the world?
He goes to the back of the
What in the
end
world
zone
is he
as
doing?
time expires.
Now, you may be wondering why nobody rushed the punter on this play. As we look back, every single lineman is intentionally holding to run down the clock. In an effort to drain the time, Baltimore held their opposing players to close out the final 11 seconds of their
That's
victory over
weird.
Cincinnati. This ridiculous holding play was 100% legal. Now, games cannot end on defensive penalties, but they can end on offensive penalties. This is where there's a gray area, because according to the league, this could have been considered a palpably unfair act, but only if it had happened twice in a row, not once, as it did on this play. With the palpably unfair act, the clock would have reset to the same time as before the play started. So technically, this is still legal if you only do it once. And the Ravens have been—
I'm confused. I don't really even understand that. Like, why? What the? Like, what was that? That was like weird.
notorious for this. Most famously, doing it in Super Bowl 47,
No
shaving
way,
off
in a
8
Super
seconds
Bowl?
to keep the 49ers offense off the field for a final play. But sometimes the NFL rulebook just hasn't caught up to how creative and skilled the players are. Ever since Michael Vick pulled off this move against the Panthers in 2004, arguments have occurred because he was called down for this fake slide to spin, while others were not, like when Kenny Pickett pulled it off in the 2021 ACC Championship game. This fake slide completely froze the defense, and opposing head coach Dave Clawson explained it best.
Never ever seen that before. You just train your players. As soon as a quarterback starts sliding, you stop because you touch him and it's going to be a penalty.
Pickett found the loophole to this rule, not only leading Pitt to the ACC title, but forever altering the football rulebook. Less than a week after, the NCAA declared anytime a ball carrier begins, simulates, or fakes a feet-first slide, the ball should be declared dead, a precaution for player safety. However, the play is not banned in the NFL, causing a huge uproar when Josh Allen did this move in 2024. A final play is often penalized, but it's mind-blowing that it isn't officially banned. The clothesline tackle was known early in the NFL as the Night Train necktie because of the player that brought it to fame, Dick Night Train Lane. Night Train said of his patented tackle that, "My object is to stop the guy before he gains another inch. If I hit him in the legs, they may fall forward for a first down. I grab him by the neck so I can go back to the bench and sit down."
Bro, that is the most, like, yo, what, bro? Yo, you could kill some, oh, bro, back in the day, they played prison football, bro. They didn't give a, like, they did not care.
And while Lane's version of a clothesline tackle is definitely illegal, the tackle in and of itself isn't. The rulebook states that players are prohibited from striking, swinging at, or clubbing the head, neck, or face of an opponent with the wrist, arms, elbows, or hands, or striking an opponent below the shoulders with his forearm or elbows by turning his body in any way that is clearly unnecessary, which is why there was no penalty for this hit on Demario Douglas in 2023. As long as you aren't going out of your way to swing your outstretched arm, the clothesline tackle is still legal. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, then we've got another one you might like right here.
Bet. Yo, that's crazy though, bro. That's not illegal. That's wild, bro. Big shout out to Blitz for the video we just react to, man. You know he's a GOAT, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's do a quick health check on the channel. I ain't gonna lie, they need a ban clothesline tackles though, bro, because that's nuts, gang. That's like OD. Hey, man, nonetheless, bro, we are on the road, bro. On the road to 110,000 subs. We're so close, bro. And we gotta hit the big 120 and 150 and 200. You know what I'm saying? I love and appreciate your boy so much, man. Thank you for supporting your boy. It means a ton, man. Channel looking really, really good and healthy, bro. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all boys so much. Hey, remember to always put God first. Remember that you are chosen to move like it. I'll see y'all on the next one. It's your boy Eli Mack. Gang, gang.